Hi, welcome to Laura's View and Tarot 2. Today's date is Thursday, December 8th, 2022. And in this video, I want to take a look at some recent political upheavals that are happening in South America. I'm speaking specifically of the recent de-seating of their president. And we'll get into that in a little bit of detail. But first of all, forgive the former school teacher in me. Let's just take a look here. Okay, so Peru is where the upheaval has happened. As you can see, they share a border with Brazil. The good citizens of Brazil are still 39 days in peacefully and legally protesting and asking the military to intervene in their election. Interestingly enough, the now former president of Peru was threatening to send troops in and help Lula to retain his spot as the president of Brazil, despite proven shenanigans. So I don't think he's going to be able to do that right now because he's facing some charges. Let's take a look at those. Just a second. Okay, remember that I have to go with fairly mainstream sources that I share with you. So you can't get more mainstream than the AP News. And they reported today that Peru president's power grab recalls country's dark past. They show a picture of him here facing arrest, okay? President Pedro Castillo rose to power 17 months ago as a populist outsider. Okay, I'm going to stop reading there because I'm not a big fan of AP news slants. But suffice it to say that within 3 hours of this president trying to avoid impeachment by disbanding the Congress, pardon me, in his country, they responded before he could do that. And there was apparently a legal avenue where it could and has in the past been done, but he didn't follow the constitutional and lawful procedures to do that, and he has been removed. Now, we're told that, yay, hooray, there is some evidence, and we'll get into a little bit of rabbit trail here as I go along before I do my read. There is some evidence that 17, when they spoke cryptically of SA, may have been talking about South America as far as kind of signaling some worldwide changes being started. That's kind of interesting, isn't it? Let's take a look. Back in 2017, 17 had one post, actually it's had several posts, that mentioned SA as preceding the US and then Asia and then EU when change was on the way. Also mentioned that disinformation is real and distractions are necessary. And today, while all this has been happening in South America, at least here in the United States, we've been focusing on the fact that Brittany Gaynor is coming home from Russia, and there was a very poor trade with a very dangerous person that was traded for her. Look here, not there, right? That's always the way. Well, alt media has been reporting to some extent that this move in Chile of ousting President Castillo is a good move. His vice president, and now the first female president in Peru, is in office, and it was a smooth transition of power. Like I said, it took 3 hours from start to finish. Hear that, American military? There's something to be said for quick action, right? Okay, not that we'd know about it here. And excuse me, I know there's things happening in the background, but I'm tired of them being in the background, and then we just need to get her done, in my opinion. And I realize, though, that if there are little ones that aren't safe, that's the big question mark that has to be answered before things go public. But in the meantime, when the collateral damages continue to pile up, it makes you kind of wonder. It does. It makes it hard to hold the line, but I'm doing it, and I know most of you watching this are too. Well, one of the reasons why I'm not all over the moon about the vice president, who is now president of this country, is, one second, I'll share a screen again. Excuse me for all the screen sharing, but I did want to go from several sources and kind of come together for a question for the universe. You see, the new president of Peru, Dina, and I'll probably butcher it because I've read the name and haven't heard it spoken, Boluarte. I have trouble knowing if I should celebrate her ascension into the presidential chair, because here's a picture of her with good old Klaus Schwab of the WEF. Are we being told to celebrate when really it's just a flip side of the same coin as far as corrupt? To me, that's a good question for the universe. Now, I do see one benefit, like I said, with all of this going on. I doubt they're going to be offering military aid to a neighbor at this point. So the peaceful change happening in Brazil may be able to continue on its way. And that's worth another read too. But right now, so with this change of president in Peru, our question in the universe is, the person seen in the public eye as the new president of Peru, Dina Boluarte, is this truly a step forward for positive White Hat Alliance change to our world? And is there other information the universe wants us to know? She may be a stepping stone. I'm hearing that she said no early elections, and now there's been a little bit of pushback about how she got where she got, and it's now possible. So we're just going to ask, is this change one that will be beneficial to the White Hat Alliance and changes we want to see in our world? Let's see what the universe has to say, because I haven't got a clue. So is this change in Peru a positive step for the White Hat Alliance? Possibly another 17 proof, since in 2017, SA preceded the US. Let's find out. Our first card is the Ten of Wands. Two of Swords, King of Swords, Six of Cups, King of Pentacles, the Hermit, Ace of Wands. So we asked if this change of president in Peru is one ultimately that the White Hat Alliance, it will be beneficial to the cause for humanity. Between that picture with Klaus Schwab, hearing that Administration 46 is saying this is a good move, that makes me have some misgivings. The cards are telling me, though, trust the plan. We have the Ten of Wands here for the situation. It was the ending of something. That was the short-lived political career of President Castillo. And apparently he is asking for asylum in Mexico. And I don't know. I mean, maybe they ought to let him go. And we're getting clarified here that, yeah, it's a compromise that was done to put her in place for now. Recent past, though, the White Hats have been on the scene here. And swords are about, first of all, they're written and spoken words. They tend to be a card of justice, especially the king. And he's often one of my White Hat cards, and he's very knowledgeable in diplomacy. So this was the softest reveal way to get some change happening in that country. And with an eye always to our little ones that need to be safe. And the reality is, folks, The more stable and prosperous South America is, the less influx we have in our own borders here in the United States. Europe could say the same thing with Africa. The more they were stable and prosperous, the less they're going to see lots of migrants. King of Pentacles shows up here for the near future. King of Pentacles is one about a card that indicates some generosity, and it's usually monetary in nature. Good provider, good provider. So I don't know. I'm not getting a sense that the new president is going to be in office all that long. But it is a change at the White Hats, definitely. That's good for humanity, good for the White Hats. And it is a White Hat move, most definitely. Let's see if there's a little more insights that come from the card. Okay. Yeah. President B, I'm not going to butcher her name again, and then watch, I'll have said it right. She's got some aspects to her that aren't candid and above board. She is willing to try to maneuver this into the best possible situation for herself, not necessarily for her country. Okay. As always, we're getting told that there's a little bit, it's actually going to settle down politically in Peru now for a while. But don't get so focused on these three things that we missed this happening in the background, okay? So that they are going to have a time of political stability with President B. Queen of Pentacles is showing up, another one of our Pentacles cards, okay? And again, Pentacles are often about generosity and tranquility. So we're getting that peaceful tranquility. They're coming into a place of peace. But change is still not done for them, not done at all. So the White Hats have a plan. Change is coming still, but there is going to be a period of stability in Peru. And I think this gives Brazil some breathing room from worrying about military invasions on their own shores through that inland connection border that they share with Peru. So the new president of Peru has that great PR picture with Klaus Schwab. The 46th administration is celebrating her coming into that role. And we patriots, we who are awake in the world, one of the things we need to be watchful for is that we're not just sold change as true change when it's really, like I said, the flip side of the same coin. So we want to be watchful for that. However, if this is a stepping stone towards more transparency, cleanup, and a change to an autonomous, freed human race, great. But it's not the end by any means, especially with that death card showing that change is still ongoing. So Peru is going to have they had this peaceful transition. They're going to have a time of peace, but the changes aren't done for them, just like they're not done for the rest of the world. We've got a long ways to go, people. We need a lot less government, and we need a lot more freedom and sovereignty in healing. And I think it's happening, but I want it to happen faster, and I know you do too. That's it for this video. Thank you so much for joining me and going down this Peruvian rabbit trail. And we'll know to watch and not trust it. It's all good news or all bad news. We're going to make balanced decisions because balanced perspective is what I shoot for and what I hope all of you do too. So that means, exposing ourselves to hard truths and big hopes and coming away with a pretty realistic idea of what's unfolding, or as much as we can. Until the day when the mainstream news is speaking truth and I don't need to be here, that's it for this video. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time. I wish you the best of everything, and I send you love and light wherever you are if you're listening to this.